Yo, what's up, everybody? Can I get a drum roll, please? Yes, it's finally here. It's the very first official episode of The Talking Phoenix. You're welcome aboard the Phoenix Express. Toot toot! And I'm your host, the host with the most. Holy Ghost? That go down with the rapper. Yeah, hold on, Jones. It's your boy, Phoenix, double O, Phoenix. So, a funny story. Back in school, I had this friend who destroyed my name. This double O Phoenix, OO Phoenix. Isaac started this, and then Morgan and Webster joined eventually. He'd go, I'm not making this up. He'd go, OO Phoenix. Who does that? Who does that? OO Phoenix. It doesn't even say Phoenix. It's Finis. OO Finis. And then they see me walking in the hostel on campus or anywhere, and they just go, God. No, look, Isaac, Webster, Morgan, just stay one place, please. I beg. When they confuse this thunder, like, just stand still. So welcome again. In this podcast, I talk about my life in general, things I love, experiences I've had, and how it all relates to the daily decisions and events that happen around us in the world today. So let's get to what we have to talk about today. So the segment today is something I describe as the confessions of an Uber driver. I drove Taxify. I just used Uber because it's generally known. Everybody basically calls it Uber. So I drove Taxify and now Bolt for a year. Alright, so let me get into my Uber hustle startup story. Well, Bolt hustle, whatever. So it was 2018. I just finished serving. I just finished my NYC in Kano. It was nice. So I was in this phase of my life where you're thinking, what's next? How do I begin to get my life in order and all of that? So unfortunately for me, I didn't get to serve in NNPC or FRS or whatever, any of those big places where you begin to pray that they retain you and then your career starts and all of that. No, I taught some really stubborn northern kids, but it was all good. So just while I was, I think, doing the whole POP phase, I got a gig to be an editor for a photography studio in Abuja. So I took it. It was better than just doing nothing. So I moved to Abuja, and that was where I got like an idea of the whole Taxify thing, because I had a friend who was currently in the system, and he told me like I saw firsthand how the whole thing operated and stuff. So he was like, come on, get into it and do this and do that. So I wasn't really up for it at the time. I was like, no. But then I left that job. I got like a contract job that required me to move around a lot. It required mobility. And then my friend came up again. I was like, bros. And then it's a contract. You know how contract jobs can be. They can be really frustrating. I really needed another source of income. And so this friend was like, yes, I can help you get a car. And then you do it. It's really simple. You use the car for work, mobility. And then once you're done with work, you go online and you drive. It's at your convenience. So far, you can meet up with the weekly targets for the car owner. Everything will be fine. So I agreed. He got the car. I registered, and the first week I tried it out. Work was easier when I was mobile. And then after work, I drove evenings. 5, I'd go online and drive till 10. And I wasn't able to meet up with the target at first, but I got very close. I got close to like 80% of the target, and I was like, oh wow. And this is just driving half day. That was when the Igbo blood in me kicked in, and I was like, what? No, I dropped this car. I went home, made away with my mom's car, and came back to Abuja. And that was how my Uber hustle started. But it wasn't just that easy. It wasn't straightforward like that. Not everybody sees your vision the way you see it. So before I started all of this, when I still had the thoughts in my mind, I began to talk to some friends or some close people. Like I was seeking advice, kind of. So I told them, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to go into, like this and this and this. And some people actually broke my spirit down. One legit said, bro, so after everything, a driver you won't be. A driver you won't be. Some said, come on, I'm dreaming small. There are some things I shouldn't even consider. Like, although some were supportive, some were like, okay, yeah, it's nice. From there you can begin to do this and do this. They were supportive. They still didn't get like where I was going to, but they were supportive still. But the point I'm trying to make is your vision drives your hustle. Like at the end of the day, it's yours. You know what you're trying to get out of it. So once you know and you're sure that this is something that will bring fruit, just go for it. So I was in the taxify business. I was in the boats business. And basically you just need two things. You need your car and then you need your phone. And I didn't start with good ones. My phone then was the Samsung Galaxy S4 I bought in Kano when I was still serving at Farm Center. And then that phone has seen better days, if I might add. It has seen better days. The battery was dead. The screen was cracked. But oh good, it served the purpose for the time. And then the car I was using was this 2003 Toyota Camry. Big for nothing, was silver. And then this car had its own issues. So many things were wrong with that car. That car was like a disaster waiting to happen. The AC did not work. The engine, it sounded a little louder than usual. So much so that when I was doing my check, because when you go to register at taxify office, they'll check your car to make sure it meets like all the requirements and all of that. So when they were checking the car, one of the guys actually came in. I was like, bros, you put generator for your boot, Abby. Because it was that loud. And well, I just want to apologize to everybody I gave trips in that period, because it was really a struggle, but it worked. So I had gotten that car for 2 weeks. Like my friend said, okay, try it out for 2 weeks, and then if you like it, you'd continue. If you don't, we just see what happens from there. And so I started, and I was driving evenings because I had like a day job, and I'd work in the mornings, and then from 4:35 I'd be free, and then I'd go online and drive. It was challenging because I did not know Abuja very well, and then the car gave issues. I had complaints. Oh, guy, your AC is not working. There was one that really stood out. So I had this trip. Sorry for people that are not familiar with Abuja, because I drove in Abuja, so I might be calling some locations that you might not be aware of, but at least you get the point. I had a pickup. These guys were at Durumi, I think along that Prince and Princess Road, and they were going towards Life Camp. So I was coming, and it was in the rainy season, so it started to rain when I was coming, and I saw them. And I'd never driven that car like when it rained. I got the car for 2 weeks. I only drove for like 1 week. So it didn't rain in any of that was the first day it rained, like seriously rained. And I always knew that if it rains, it's going to be bad, because the headlights were bad. The AC was not too great. So when it started raining, I was like, should I cancel this trip? But the guys, I was already close. I could see them. They had their umbrellas out and everything. So I just went, and then they got into the car, and immediately they got into the car, the rain picked up so bad and everything. I was like, okay, that was where everything went out. I started the trip. All right, let's move. This rain was so hard that we had to wind up and everything, and then the AC was not working. So there's no AC or that heater that wipes away the fog on your screen and everything. So I was struggling. That was when I even found out that the wiper was that day was we were blind. Those guys were so scared. Like one of them was even saying, oh guys, should I come and drive? Like we had to just wait out the rain on the side of the road. And then as we were waiting, my phone eventually died. Somehow, the radio charger or that port where you charge on it stopped giving out electricity for some reason. That night was just terrible. So even if the guys wanted to calm down, I couldn't end the trip. Like, they can't end the trip on their side. I have to end it. My phone was dead. There's no charger. We ended up waiting the rain out, and then when it came down, we now drove to the house. I had to wait, give them my phone. They went into the house and charged it a little, and then came out and I ended the trip. And the charge was just totally wrong. But they were actually nice and they paid and stuff. I think that was the worst I had. I also had some where the phone was crazy. Because I don't know the road, I don't know my way around Abuja much of the time. When I start the trip, I would switch to Google Maps. Unknowing to me, when I switch to Google Maps, the phone cannot handle both applications. So both closes in the background. And then I drive all the way from the pickup location to the destination. And then when I switch to both to like end the trip, both begins to load like you're just opening the app for the first time. And then you see the fare. When you end the trip, you don't see that the fare is like 400 naira. 400 naira is like the starting price. It happened to me a lot. I wanted to cry. I was frustrated. But many of them understood, and they would just pay something within the range that was estimated for them when they were requesting. So I knew I had to change this car and get a new car. Now the struggle to get a new car kicked in, and I had a plan. I was going to go home and get my mom's car. My mom has this 2009 Toyota Matrix. It was just perfect. So I still had 1 week to work and pay for, and the target for that car I was driving was 25,000 naira weekly. So I borrowed 25,000 naira from my friend Bimbo. He was actually one of those people who supported the hustle idea at the initial stages. So I borrowed 25,000 naira, and I told this guy, I was like, see, at the end of the this week I won't be able to continue. Like, I'm going to get my own car and whatnot, but I'll meet up and I'll pay and stuff. So I gave him 25,000 ahead of time. I was like, I want to use this car. I needed to go and prove a point to my parents. My dad is somebody you have to really convince, because so they don't get the idea that this one. My parents don't stay in Abuja. They stay in Niger State, so they don't someone's carry car and just go and be flexing in Abuja and whatnot. So I needed to my dad is a lawyer, so I prepared a case. Trust me, I had a case. I had a case to go and win. So I needed to go there with the car and prove that I could be trusted to like handle it on my own, because I've known how to drive for a long time, but I've never actually like taken care or managed the car on my own. It was like a new thing for me. So I got the car ready. I was going to drive down to Niger State and make my case and come out successful. So my junior sister was in Abuja at the time. She was going to join me and go home. And then it was me, my junior sister, and my roommate and brother, Sonny. So my elder sister, who stays in Abuja, actually gave us, we were going home with like some things for the parents and everything. We even had like 2 live turkeys in the boot with frozen chicken and some other things. So I got to their place early in the morning. In preparation for the small journey, I had gone to fill the tank. The oil of the car was leaking, so I topped the oil. Also made sure there was water in the radiator. I got fuel treatment. Like, I wanted everything to go smoothly. Remember, I had a point to prove to my dad that I was responsible enough to be given the car. All right, so I picked my sister and then we headed off to Niger State. So on our way close to Diko, we had not even gotten to Suleja. What happened? Overheating. So apparently, in my attempts to make sure everything was set, when I turned water into the radiator, I just left the cap there and closed the bonnet. I didn't actually cover the radiator, so the overheating started. And that was the first time I was experiencing overheating. Remember, I just know how to drive. I never really knew how to take care of a car personally. I was just learning. So we just got water and then tried to top it and then covered it and then continued moving. The car actually started. It was starting those times. Not knowing that we were supposed to wait for it to cool for 45 minutes to an hour and whatnot. It stopped on the way again, and somehow I called a brother-in-law and I got help. We were like, okay, wait. But by then we had already done damage. but we were able to still manage and drag, and we got close to Mina. That was where the car gave up. Like, we literally slept in the bush. We looked for a mechanic and everything just went south. My dad had to actually calm down to help us with the gasket, because we blew our top gasket and then we changed everything. This was already spoiling my plan to prove I was worthy enough to take the car. We ended up going home. So I started to plead my case and tell them, okay, there's this business and I actually need the car and whatnot. Funny enough, I didn't have to say much. They agreed. Parents are just amazing. I did not. So we traveled back, and then they had to do some things, and then I came back the following week and picked the car. Now I had a fresh start. Okay, so I had a fresh start. I knew I was going to enjoy the Bolt thing this time around, because I had this clean 2009 Toyota Matrix. It was light blue. Sonny called it bulb. And then I knew I couldn't use that phone anymore, so I hustled and I was still able to I got my iPhone 6s, and I didn't have the battery problem and anything. And thank God for Apple Music. I had this killer playlists. So I had this thing I did where I had like a lot of playlists. So when a rider calls me, like from your voice and the way you talk, or probably when I see you walk into the car, I'll just like guess, okay, I'll be like, okay, this person is into this kind of music, or you probably like this person or this. So I keep the music, I start the music before you come in. And in some cases I actually got it right. They'll be like, no, this is my jam. And so people be like, oh no, can you please turn that stuff down? But in any way, it worked for most people, and it was a good conversation starter most times. And sometimes I'll just be like, okay, welcome, so where are we traveling to? That also helps, because some people will be like, they'll laugh. I'll be like, travel. And they'll be like, okay, Kaduna, Canada, all those people that want to go and stuff. So it was actually nice. And then the car helped. Some people come, I'll be like, oh, your car is nice. I'll be like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. And it was a big step up from the Camry, because the interior was way better. The AC was working. The sound system was good. So everything was on point. And then I had like a better go at it this time, because I've done it before. So I knew the things to look out for. And then I understood the road a little better. And then the Google Maps was better on the iPhone than on the S4. I didn't have the problem of the Bolt app crashing while on trip and everything. So everything was a little smoother this time, and it was on point. So I just, like, in general, began to enjoy the whole Bolt thing. The car just gave me confidence. One of the things that makes driving Bolt interesting is it's like a gamble. It's like an adventure, because it's just like pulling a card of chance. Like when you're playing Monopoly and you have to pull the chance card, like you don't know what to expect. You don't know who you're going to pick up. You don't know where you're going to be going to. You don't know what to expect. So it was always fun. And then guessing. So like there were so many types of personalities you meet so many types of people. They're the quiet ones, the ones that will just come into the car and then they just be on their phone all day. They don't even care like the route you take and everything. Then there were those angry ones, those ones that will just call you and be like, hello, Oga, where are you now? Like, auntie, chill, calm down. Don't be fight, easy. And then there are those ones that will call, and then the first thing they'll be like, Oga, I'm going to Nyanya. Are you going? Will you go? Or they'll be like, I'm going to Guagualada. Will you go? Probably those people that stay in the outskirts and stuff. And then there were also those ones that will call and be like, hey, Austin, hey, how are you? How was today? Like, they'll call you by your name and then they'll like actually make small talk. Those were like the cultured ones. Those ones. And when they even come into the car, probably when you pick them up, they'll ask you, how was your day and stuff. Some people were actually really nice like that. And then they had the people who would put their pickup location as their destination and destination as pickup. Like they would just interchange the whole thing. And then when you get there and you call them, I'll be like, okay, I'm at point A. And I'm like, no, that's where I'm going to. I'm at point B. I'm like, so those people were there also. And then they had these ones that would just come, okay, your AC is not reaching the back. Oh. They come to the front. Then we also had the ones that would be like, where did you park? No, drive in, please. I cannot walk to that. No. I'll wait. Go and turn. Like, chill, bro. It's not that easy. And then we also had the ones that they'd be like, okay, you can start ending the trip now. And I'm like, I don't understand. We'll start ending. What happens when I end it? And from here to like where we get to, I don't understand. Who pays for that? I end the trip when I get to the end of the destination. And then there are some that will go like, immediately enter. Do you have Bluetooth? Do you have auxiliary? The music heads. And then those ones that be like, they come in and like, wait, my friend is coming. And then their friend takes like 5 hours. Oh, God. And then there are some that the waiting, you'd actually get to the pickup location and wait for like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Some people are just... And then there are some that come and they are really nice. Like, they actually want to talk and they go, okay, so do you do this full time? And they're actually interested like in the business and all of that. So you meet a lot of people and then you get to hear plenty amebo. Like, I can't remember. God, I heard so many gists. People who were talking about their boyfriends, talking about their girlfriends, talking about their bosses, you'd hear so many things. People talk the most. I feel like they feel comfortable to talk when they know that they don't know you and stuff. So they just let it out. It's actually fun. It's an adventure, trust me. So, my best rides. I actually have plenty of those. There was this lady who, on her way back from work, asked to stop at KFC to get food. So she went in and she got chicken and Coke. And then she came out and she was like, come on, can I eat in your car? I was like, yeah, sure. But please don't spill. She was like, oh, no, I won't. And then she was eating, she was like, come on, join me. I was like, no, thanks, I'm driving. She was like, you don't want to eat my chicken, are we? So when we got to her house and she was like, and now you're not driving now, you don't have any excuse. Then she gave me like a box of chicken and a bottle of Coke. I was like, what? I also had a rider who got me Cold Stone ice cream. That dude was amazing. Even at the end of the day, he tipped me well. He was like, he enjoyed the trip and everything. Then I also, somebody who paid ×3 of what he was supposed to pay. This guy was just coming back from a journey from the airport. So he needed to get some things at Area 1 shopping complex and then pick up something at Area 10 before going to his house. So he enjoyed the trip so much so he enjoyed the music. It was like, the car, like it was comforting for him. And then when we got to the destination after everything, he paid ×3 of like what he was supposed to pay. You can imagine somebody who comes from the airport. It was a really good day for me. And then I also had one guy who offered me a job, like an elderly man. He was like, how old are you? He likes to see when young people, are you a graduate and stuff? He just started asking questions and stuff. So after everything, I dropped him. He told me to come into his office, and then he was like, whenever I need help, come around. And sure, I should bring my CV the next day. I actually brought my CV, and he actually tried. Like, he went to Lens to try and get me a job and everything. I appreciate that, man. Oh yeah, I also, this is actually like the biggest highlights. I picked EDK of Sound City. Like, all of you riders who use Bolt or Uber in Abuja, you know that Sound City is like the channel for Sound City is like the channel for Uber drivers, while Brekete is for Along. That's like the standard. So as a driver rather, it's always, if I'm not on the auxiliary, it's Sound City, and then EDK is there every morning. So there was this day I actually picked EDK, and I actually got to like enter Sound City, and no, that was like the best trip of that season for me. Like, it was crazy. Worst rider. There was this one guy who booked me the whole damn day, like, and somehow managed not to pay me till today. I don't want to get into specifics. I'm already getting angry. Okay, so what I loved about driving Bolt. First of all, I made money. See, driving Bolt and Taxify pays when you drive for yourself. There's actually a lot of money in it. And then, well, I got to meet new people. I actually made new friends. Like, I have a lot of friends that I made from like riders who became friends and stuff, and we still keep like in contact till now. I really enjoy driving, so I like got the tour of Abuja. I got to know like so many places. When I came to Abuja, I didn't know anywhere. Well, with Google Maps, and then picking from here and dropping there, so I got to know like the layout of Abuja very well, and I love that. Then I met some really nice people. Like I met some people who actually tried to offer me jobs and stuff. Well, they're actually really good people in Nigeria. And I also met some admirers. Some days you like go back home and then you just see a text from your phone and be like, "Oh yeah, you dropped me off at the place. I think you're cute." So I'll actually tell you, "Oh, you're cute. Wow." And like, wow, so some of the good things I liked, Biggest flop moment. Oh, I fuck up. Jesus. So, when somebody calls you and you can't answer at the moment, and there are these custom messages that, can't talk right now, I'm in a meeting, blah, 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 blah. So there's one, can I call you later? It's on the iPhone. Can I call you later? So I had this request, and then I was going to the pickup location, and when I got there, I called the person, and I guess they were on a call or something, and so they hit that, can I call you later, whatever. But somehow the message didn't get to me on time. So I eventually came and it was a lady, picked the lady up, and then I was taking her to, I don't know, a pool, legislative quarters or where. So on the way, the message now came in, like, can I call you later? Me and my stupid sense, I was now thinking, this lady at the back is actually feeling me, you know what's up? And she's now saying, can I call you later after the whole trip and everything? So in my mind, I was like driving, I was trying to form composure in my head. I was trying to form composure, because my phone was like on the dock there. So when the message came in, I saw it. So I was now trying not to smile. All this was happening in my head. This lady was just living her normal life. Hey, Jesus. So when we got to the place, I then dropped the bag, and then when I now went home, and then eventually thought of it, oh my God, I felt so very stupid. So very stupid. It was my flop, because thank God the person didn't know about it. If not, Afadon Jones. Okay, moving on. Okay, so some of the challenges I had driving Bolt. I drove evenings and weekends, so I basically had no life, because I'd work in the daytime, and then once it's evening, I start driving till night. I just stop driving at 10 p.m. because I have to sleep and then go to work the next day. So it's like rinse and repeat. So I had, even to do laundry, like, was a big problem for me. Also, the whole wahala with card and cash payments. Like, it's good to have like extra money. Do you get? That's like the only way you can get over it. Have extra money. But some days you just get card, and then you top up on fuel, and then before you know, you have like little cash on you, and then you're stuck with this dilemma of not having money for change for your customers, or not being able to buy fuel and everything. So whenever I was in those kind of situations, I had this friend that always came through for me. Izu helped my life a lot. Like, I could call him at any time. I'll be like, yo, Zuchi, how far? I beg, I need like 2K, I need like 3K, I need like 4K, I need to like get fuel or something. And then he'll just help, because he knows like the nature of my business, and then I was good for it as well. So like the next day, sometimes within that day as well, you'd get the money back and then you replace it. So it's good to have that extra cash, so you don't, like, whenever your card requests ratio gets higher than your cash, you're still good to go. The most annoying one was cancels. Some people thunder. I was supposed to go pick this lady up. The distance was like 5 kilometers, but because I had been parked for like a long time and I needed a request, so I just said, okay, no, let me just go. So I started driving to the pickup location. After some minutes, I got there, and then I called this lady. I was like, okay, I'm here. And then she goes, oh, I'm so sorry, I've actually left too, and one of my colleagues picked me. I don't need the trip again. Can you cancel it? And I was like, how? And then she asked me to cancel it. Like, it was still hot, like my bonus. The way the thing is, they give you a target every day. you're to complete, let's say, 5 trips, you're to do a certain number of hours, and then you should have 90% acceptance rate. It's always 90%. For you to keep 90% acceptance rate, you have to accept every request that comes. Like if you get one request and you accept the one, it's 100%. You get 2 requests, you accept the 2, it's 100%. You get 2 requests and you accept one, it goes down to 50%. So it's the total number you answer and complete over the total number of requests you get that determines the percentage. So it leaves little room, very little room for you to miss any request, unless probably you've done up to like 10, 11, then you can miss 1 or 2 and it doesn't really hurt you. If the rider cancels, you don't feel it because it's just like they change their mind. But if you cancel, it's like you're rejecting a request, so it affects your acceptance rate. That's why you see sometimes most drivers will be like, you cancel, and then there's always this, they have more to lose than the ride. Although some riders are wicked, they will just want to punish you. God, that was like, when you get cancels, you feel like punching that. I feel like I should just get your location and go and punch you and then go back to where I'm going to. It was really annoying, trust me. Okay, so for my worst car problems, God, there was this night I was doing a trip from Gwarinpa to, I can't remember where we were going to this time, but my alternator failed me. Like, I was just coming out of Sci-Tech estate kind of, so immediately I just made that turn, the car just went dead. The steering was stiff. I didn't know what was happening. I just managed to, the car rolled to the side of the road and everything, so it wasn't starting. And then eventually I discharged the passenger. So I started calling my mechanic that night. My mechanic couldn't come all the way down to Gwarinpa. Besides, it was in the night, everywhere was already going quiet and everything. And that was like on a Tuesday night. The next morning I had to go like to the office. We had our weekly meetings. God. So I had to, my friend Sonny, my bro, came and we had to like push the car to that Sci-Tech gate. Like the Sci-Tech gate, there's like a police checkpoint there. So we had to push the car there. So push and then beg some of the police officers to look after it till the morning. The police is your friend, but we had to pay them. So my mechanic came in the morning and sorted it out, but the alternator did damage. God, like we had to get a new one. It was crazy. Also, there was this time I had electrical problems, so I got a request, took the person to Maitama. I was in Maitama. After dropping that person off, I parked. I was waiting for my next request. When I got the request, I tried to start this car and this car refused to start. I thought it was like the first time. I thought it was the fuel and everything. God, that car stayed there. We had to tow it back home. Towing it, like I didn't have the tow rope and everything. It was crazy. I had to come back home, buy a tow rope, get another car. So we came to tow it. And the person I was towing it didn't really know how to drive, but like that was the best I could get at the moment. So okay, I was like, okay, just be in my own car and I'll be in the other car. All you have to do is just like turn the steering. But the steering was stiff because everything is electrical. So all you have to do is just turn the steering. So we started going, and then this person forgot to put down the handbrake. And then this steering rope caught. And then the car was like in the middle of the road, just before the traffic, and everybody was honking and stuff. So there was this taxi guy that came and helped out with like this seat belt that was joined together. So it was like, and the rope is actually very strong, so we used it. So this time I begged him. I was like, okay, let's just be like taking a drop. How much would you come into this car and help me be on the other side and tow it, and I'll drive, I'll be in this and you be in that one. And he agreed to do it. So we started going. On the way, the rope caught again when we were close to the secretariat, and then police came. I was like, this is illegal towing and whatnot. The police is your friend again, and they still collected our money. God, I hated myself that night. We eventually got the car to the house, and it was safe. Well, for me, my next level was actually the end of my Bolt hustle, because I had gotten to this point where I got a better job, and then the job didn't give me like that flexibility or room to be able to keep up with the side hustle and all of that. So it was still a win-win for me. And on God, I miss my boat driving days because it was so much fun. Would I do it again? Oh, trust me, I would. If I had the opportunity to drive boat again, I would definitely drive boat again. Well, so there you have it, the confessions of an Uber driver. I just hope my confessions were not incriminating. Okay, it was fun hanging out with you guys and hearing me share my experience, but it's time for me to sign out now. So if you did enjoy the podcast, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you have questions or feedback, please hit me up on social media. On Twitter, it's at 00Phoenix. On Instagram, it's at 00_Phoenix. Phoenix is spelled PHOENIX. Please don't be one of those people that will spell Phoenix. Oh. So I'm signing out. It's your boy. And please, let's try to stay safe. Sanitize, wash your hands, and do all of that stuff. And catch you all on the next episode. Peace out. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's the very first. Jesus Christ. Also, one of the highlights, there was this guy who paid times three. Yeah, so there was this guy who paid three times. Oh, God damn it. So this segment is something I like to call the connections of an Uber. Confessions. I'm out of here.